Today, one man's ideas shape the daily lives of billions of people. Entire governments have risen, and sprawling empires have collapsed, all tracing their origins back to a single set of theories. Yet when Karl Marx died in 1883, there was no state funeral. He was broke, completely forgotten by the public, and only a handful of people bothered to show up to his burial. Growing up in Prussia, he was a sharp, fiercely curious student who made a habit of questioning the world around him. Above all else, he detested authority. How does a man with zero wealth, zero political power, and a lifetime of personal failures manage to engineer a blueprint that dictates the course of modern history? His entire legacy rests on a massive contradiction. There is a vast, unbridgeable gap between the tragic reality he lived and the explosive impact he left behind. During the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution generated wealth at an unimaginable pace. New factories expanded production to levels the world had never seen. But the people operating these machines were trapped in grueling hours, earning barely enough to survive. Looking at this stark divide, Marx made a highly controversial diagnosis. He argued that the crushing poverty of the workers was not an accident or a temporary glitch in a booming economy. He insisted the system was explicitly designed to extract their labor. He mapped out a world split cleanly into two distinct groups: a tiny fraction of wealthy controllers hoarding the resources, relying entirely on a heavy, massive base of laborers doing the physical work. To fix this severe imbalance, Marx proposed an extreme solution. The massive base of workers had to rise up and seize control of the resources themselves. He had zero interest in negotiating minor political reforms. He wanted to tear up the economic foundation of society and rebuild it entirely from scratch. He couldn't do it alone. He relied on his collaborator, Friedrich Engels, an essential partner and financial lifeline who sent money to keep him afloat. This document is the Communist Manifesto. Together, they distilled their massive critique into this short pamphlet, issuing a direct call for workers across the globe to unite. When it was published, the world largely ignored it. Marx remained trapped in crushing poverty, constantly evading debt collectors. The personal toll was devastating. He and his wife lived in such harsh conditions that several of their children died from illness and malnutrition, the exact same systemic poverty he was writing against. Despite spending his life writing the manual for a global uprising, he died sick, dependent on friends, and convinced his vision was a failure. He never saw a single piece of his theory take root. But history has a long delay. For decades after his death, his theories quietly incubated. Then, they ignited. Powerful leaders eventually weaponized his theories to overthrow entire nations, starting with the complete restructuring of Russia. The ideological framework rapidly crossed borders, taking hold in other major global populations, most notably in China. But when these theories left the page and became actual governments, a dark mutation occurred. Instead of the equal, exploitation-free utopia Marx wrote about, the resulting regimes became harshly authoritarian. In the pursuit of his vision, individual freedoms were stripped away, and millions of people suffered under total state control. This leaves modern scholars deeply divided. Are the original theories inherently flawed from the start, or were they perfectly valid ideas corrupted by power-hungry dictators? Ultimately, the story of Karl Marx stands as a massive historical warning. It shows exactly the kind of devastating friction that happens when pure, theoretical ideas violently collide with the messy, unpredictable reality of human execution.